You know right, assassinate. Airport and Timaya. Mojana Nanu Shegu Edigu on my
There is something beyond that affliction. And so do not allow the affliction to put you down. When troubles come upon you, you must be firm. You must be steadfast. My God. No matter what happens, that moment of affliction shall pass like a cloud. And beyond that affliction, there is great glory. So God did not see light before he called light to appear. He saw darkness and he called light to appear. So your enemy may think that he has wrapped you in darkness. And that enemy does not know that you are the darling of God. You are the sweetheart of God.
And
so it was the presence of darkness that provoked God to say, let there be light.
Now, Haman and any friends, the wife, any action.
Now, Haman and his friends and his wife were excited.
Mordecai
was sorrowful, he was sad, and he was in shame. But you know, the atmosphere can turn around. There is something we call change. So long as there is change, then don't be worried about your present situation. I said something some time ago that if all days were just one day, which is today, and that there is no tomorrow, then I'll tell you that there is no hope for you in life. In that situation, if you tell me that you want to poison yourself so you will die, I will urge you on to do so.
But na me wani dance was or china ewo hono me found situation me omi say or china ebe me da.
Amen.
And na ya matamfo da o but or china be me da.
So because all days do not end today, and so long as there is tomorrow will be my day. It may be the situation that today is your enemy's day, but tomorrow shall be your day. And so do not be worried. All that is important is the life you have, which you must treasure. So Mordecai noticed that there was trouble pending, or there was trouble knocking on his door. And he noticed that something ought to be done immediately. Now, because of time, I am going to fast forward the message.
Haman used 12 months.
Now, Haman used 12 months.
But Mordecai, Esther, any Jew for used 3 days.
But Mordecai, Esther, and the Jews used 3 days.
Adia sum bone bebre ansa na watimi achieve no onyankopon twinkle of an eye.
Now something that evil men or evil spirits will struggle to accomplish, God will do it in a twinkle of an eye.
Now, my Bible say.
Now my Bible tells me.
Ohima Esther and Ohina Ahasuerus edinkomo.
Queen Esther and King Ahasuerus had a conversation. Now, because of time, I'm going to fast forward the message. Now, the queen said to the king that I want to throw a party. I want to hold a party. Now, here was somebody against who people a decree had been made that let all people of that race be exterminated, be wiped out, be killed.
Esther fan who anto pressure. One fan who anto harassment. One share problems, any difficulties no. O hunu se said ye tibiara. Ni nyankopon tia sinkwa de. Ni nyame be yina firi. Now, and to say, doesn't matter situation be me wom me beto party.
Now Esther was not perturbed by the pressure or by the harassment or by the fear of death which was pending. She knew that so long as her God was alive, her God was able and capable of delivering her from that situation.
Now here me pesa party no wo baby.
And the request of the Esther was that, king, I want you to be present at my party. And also, while you are coming, make sure that you come with Haman.
Wisdom.
Now, she was a woman of wisdom.
Onim say Haman, I am an enemy.
She knew that Haman was an enemy.
But I counter attack.
But she plotted, or she had a plan to have a counter attack against Haman.
You have to forgive.
There are times that you must learn to forgive.
But don't forgive.
But there are other times that you must not forgive.
Unim, I am dealing nicely.
You must deal nicely with your enemy.
Situation be many.
Now, many times, certain situations that we encounter make us learn lessons.
Now,
the king agreed with the request of Esther.
Ohina tunkra senko kanchire Haman say party binti omra ochina nopa no ne mfa ho adwene. And
the king extended that courtesy to Haman, informed Haman that come here tomorrow and join me for the party.
Sabre no so bra assignment dia share Haman and sa and say on tori Jewfo ase. Mordecai.
Now that time was a time where a decree had been made, and Haman was in charge to enforce that decree that all Jews must be exterminated and wiped out. Now the Bible said the king went to bed. And at dawn of the day that the king was supposed to go for the party Esther had organized,
Haman, the plan say, party now the assignment.
Now Haman's plan was that immediately after the party, he was going to execute the decree of the king.
And then the name for them say, media may be very, very important. So because Ohima Estampo party was so hearing Kwang and me penemra. So I said, me Haman.
Now, when he got home, he began to brag to his wife and his friends that I am a very important personality in this kingdom, because even the queen who has put together a party or organized the party has invited no other person but myself and the king to attend that party.
The Bible said
that night the king could not sleep. The king had insomnia. He could not sleep that night.
And yes, battle sound.
It wasn't the fact that the king had heard the sound of battle.
And yes, enemies war,
or some letter had been written to the king informing him that his enemies were about to launch war against him.
And yes,
it wasn't the case that the king was sick.
And yes,
It wasn't the case that the king could not eat that evening, and so he had sleepless nights because he was hungry. None of these things were applicable or were the reasons the king could not sleep. But unbeknown to him, heaven had taken a decision. Now when heaven takes a decision, that man that must help you cannot sleep. When heaven takes a decision, the plans of your enemy will come to nothing. Heaven had taken a decision. May heaven take a decision in your life. Heaven made a decision. I said that there is a change in the atmosphere.
My servants.
The king said, my servants, I cannot sleep.
And
he ordered the servants to bring the book of remembrance to him. The day of your remembrance will soon come. Let me say something to you. Men may forget about you, but God will never forget about you.
So Nyamisha, ewoni dimu ema woye na se nipa nkai wo mpa onyame ohya ewoni dimu ma woye ne ebresem obekai.
If God instructs you to do something, and after you have done that thing, men even forget what you have done, in the appropriate time God will remember you. There is something we call forgetfulness. It is men who forget. God does not forget. I want you to understand, everything you may have done to support the work of God, in the accomplishment of your ministry, in giving, in every sphere or aspect of life, because you did it or have done it in the name of the Lord, God will give you the appropriate reward. Sometimes the reward may tarry. Now the fact that the reward has tarried or the recompense have tarried does not mean that God will not do it. Sarah's reward delayed, but in the appropriate time God provided the reward. Hannah's reward